Teach your child to read in 100 easy lessons, or Alpha Phonics. If you wanted to understand the differences between these two very popular reading programs, then this video is for you, because I will go through both programs with you so you can make an informed decision of which one makes more sense in your case. Also, I wanted to let you know that this is a fragment of a longer video on the channel about these two programs and other learning to read programs. If you're interested, I leave you a link on the video description. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Alpha Phonics and Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. Sorry, I couldn't make up my mind between these two, so I will go through both. This will maybe even help you clarify some doubts, because I know many people want to understand the difference between these two very popular manuals. So this is Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. It is a very popular program, and in fact, I think it is the #1 bestseller on Amazon for learning to read programs. Why would you want to pick this program? Well, if you want something that doesn't require a lot of preparation and want something that takes you by the hand with a script, this could be a very good option. On this program, as I said, you follow a script, and this is literal. I mean, it is not lightly scripted. It is scripted word by word. You can't move a comma of what you say to your child. You have to use the exact words that they say to use on the lesson, pause when they ask you to pause, and even how you need to correct your child, when you need to correct your child is scripted. So you need to be comfortable with that and trust that the system that they use is going to work. By the way, the system on Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons is called T-STAR and has proven to be very effective if you follow it to a T. And on the manual, they give you all sorts of details about this and also explain about all the backup that this system has. A very important detail with this program is that prior to embarking into the lessons, please learn the sounds yourself. You have a guide on the manual that teaches you all the sounds and how to pronounce them correctly. Since I have the manual just with me, so let's go through a few together. So let's find the list of sounds. Here they are. So this is the symbol for the letter M, is the letter M itself, and it is pronounced not M, with the sound at the end. You should make it long because there are 3 M's as opposed to maybe just one for the letter T. This is a short sound. And again, you don't have to add the sound at the end. The guide also tells you when in the program those sounds are introduced, as you can see. And you may have noticed that there are some weird symbols and weird ways to represent certain things. Lines on top, like for instance here, there's a line on top. Maybe there's 2 letters joined together. This is again part of the T-STAR system, and there is an explanation for each symbol. To give you an example, the line on top, like this one, that means that is a long vowel, and a long vowel means that the letter says its name. So that would be E as in eat, as opposed to E as in end. Okay, I know, a bit complicated, but you get all the explanations on the manual. By the way, the manual doesn't come with a CD or anything. However, I found a YouTube video from one of the authors of the program that goes through all the sounds and how to properly pronounce them. If you were to purchase this manual for your child, I think you should watch this video. I will leave a link on the video description and on the download my notes document. I don't know, this symbol thing is new to me. I understand it and it makes sense with the explanations that they give you, but it sort of limits the text that you can introduce to your child. You basically can't read normal books, which I guess is okay at the beginning. Your child, especially a young one, will have enough with the text on the manual, but my doubt is how he or she is going to transition after finishing the manual to normal books. I don't know, probably pretty good. Well, I don't know, maybe he or she will be lost without the symbols. Again, you really need to trust the distort system. Also, I wanted to let you know that the manual is for learning to read, not for learning to write. The manual very clearly says that the writing tasks that you get on the book are included for the reading related value. As we've seen before, some programs focus on reading while others tackle reading, writing and spelling at the same time, and it all has advantages and disadvantages. So let's go through Alpha Phonics now. Don't be confused, it is very different. First of all, it is likely scripted. You get a script and they give you directions and materials to cover each lesson and also some suggestions, but the program allows for flexibility on how you carry out the lessons and cover the materials. Okay, let's have a look at the approach together because it's pretty simple, so I can easily explain it to you. First of all, you teach the alphabet, and that really caught my attention because you teach letter names. They don't say teach letter names and letter sounds at the same time, just teach the alphabet. Also, they are not fans of including any pictures, as you can see. Actually, throughout the entire book, no pictures. For the alphabet is the same thing. No, A is for apple and the picture of an apple, or E is for elephant and the picture of an elephant. There is a reason for that. They don't want children relying on any visual cues that had nothing to do with reading. I sort of agree with that, but if you're not going to rely on visual cues at all when you're teaching your child the alphabet, you're going to have to use other strategies. For instance, in our case, the letter A is the first letter in my daughter's name, so that's an easy one because it's relevant for them. The letter B, we say it has a belly because you can see it has a little belly. The letter C, for instance, is half a cake. The letter D, wears diapers. You know, we have some tricks. These little stories might not work in your case. You need to make them relevant for your child. Also, don't be confused by the apparent simplicity for each lesson. These are the instructions for each lesson. Really short, right? But there's a lot to cover in each lesson. For instance, let's have a look together at lesson 1. You go from the alphabet to suddenly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sounds introduced in the first lesson and blending sounds together to actually read simple words. First lesson. Second lesson, you go over those sounds, you introduce more sounds, and you read more words, slightly longer words, 3 letters words in this case. Next lesson, well, thank God it's a review, but in general, it moves fast. Sometimes I wonder if you want to repeat the lessons or maybe adding a little bit of sounds review at the beginning of the lessons. However, even though it moves fast, the program follows a logic order, an order that makes sense. Your child won't be introduced suddenly to really advanced concepts out of the blue. I like how they introduce sight words as well. I'll show you an example. For instance, here, you see, they put them inside a box next to other words that have similar spellings, to get the child used to the fact that in English, irregularities happen. So they don't give you a random list of sight words that have nothing to do with each other. I like that. I know this is not a sexy program. Let's and lists of words, no pictures, but it is all for a reason. They don't want to overcomplicate it, and they don't want children relying on pictures to guess. If your child can read these words, you can be assured that he is actually or she is actually reading. Definitely not guessing, because there's no way to do so. It is not a writing program either, but they actually do talk about the topic and recommend that you start with cursive and give you a few tips on how to find a good writing program. The only thing with these two programs, Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons and Alpha Phonics, is whereas many parents vouch for them and say they are great and that the methodology works, it is also true that many parents complain that their children find the approach very boring. Oh my god, this has been a long video. I said I just wanted to point you in the right direction, but I kept talking and I just had so much to say. And the thing is that there's a lot to say. Still, I haven't covered every single detail, but it is so important that you find the right match for your child, because that can make a huge difference. Remember, you can download the notes on the video description, and also I have left you the links to the programs we have seen today. Also, feel free to comment, to ask questions on the comments section, and if you're interested in topics like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.